So you decided you want to participate in the on your board, in your association. That's great. Hi, I'm Scott Brady. I'm the owner of Progressive Association Management, and I'm happy to be here with you to share my thoughts on all things association management and HOAs. By law, every board has to have an election. Some boards can't even get people to run for the board, and so they'll appoint somebody on the board. So if you run, you want to tell your other owners why you think you should be on the board, what your qualifications are, you have the time, you have the skill, you have the ability, or you reach out to the current board and say, hey, you're missing a board member, I'd like to be on the board. So shouldn't be that hard. A lot of people don't want to be on the board because you're an unpaid volunteer. You've got this responsibility without any compensation, but somebody has to do it, so I'm glad it's you. So the first thing you want to do to get on the board, there's a few things. One is you need to know the Davis-Stirling statutes. Those are the laws that govern the boards. They govern all associations in the state of California. You don't have to know it verbatim. You don't have to memorize it, but you know generally how it works. And if you hired a management company, they should definitely know Davis-Stirling, and they're going to keep you on your annual calendar, that you fill out your forms with the Secretary of State, that you do your tax returns, that you have that election. Then, of course, most importantly, you do your annual budget. The next thing you really want to know are the financials. Those aren't in the Davis-Stirling statutes. They tell you you got to get the financials every single month, but it's up to you to trust the information you get from your management company or your accountant, but you want to verify, and you want to look at the profit and loss. You want to look at your balance sheet. You want to look at your check register, and what you want to look for are big deviations for what you expected to spend and what you are spending. Because there's big deviations, you want to dig into that. Why? There's things going wrong with the community. Is a vendor overcharging? You should be aware of that. So you want to get those financials, you want to review those financials, and you want to trust, but verify. And I think the other big document in there is once you understand your legal responsibility. So your legal responsibility as a board member primarily is to protect the assets of your corporation. What do I mean by that? The corporation is your association. You're a nonprofit organization. So that's a corporation though. And the assets of your corporation are your common areas. So Davis-Stirling says you have a legal responsibility to protect those common areas on behalf of all the other owners. And that means you've got to have money put away for future repairs and replacements. What tells you what are your future repairs and replacements? How do you know that roof up there when that needs to be replaced? And what's it going to cost to replace, and how much money you have to have in the bank? That's your reserve study. And your reserve study is done every year. For 2 years in a row, it can be done from the desk, but on a third year, the reserve study specialist has to come to your association and do a visual look at your community. And what they're going to say is, per your governing documents, these are the common areas you're responsible for. Maybe it's roof, maybe it's paint. Then what that reserve study specialist is going to say is, hey, your pool equipment is 2 years old, and in their opinion, it's going to fall apart in 10 years. So that means you have 8 years, you have to have enough money put away to replace the pump and the water heater on that pool. Maybe it's $20,000. So in 8 years, you have to have $20,000 on hand to effect that repair. So the reserve study really helps you understand your community and helps you understand where you got to put your money away into your savings account, plus what money you're spending on a monthly basis on your operating account. That's your profit and loss. That's your budget. So those two things you're balancing financially. And if you're not getting that kind of good counsel on Davis-Stirling, on the reserve study, on how to look at your financials, well, we're here to help you. Any competent management company should be your partner, and they should be helping you run your association, your corporation, in the most efficient and professional way possible.